Hey runners, are you wearing the right pair of running shoes? That's a commonly asked question by new runners. Running shoes are the most important piece of gear you're going to own. You're going to need to replace them about every 300 to 500 miles of running, which for most of you means you're going to be replacing them twice, 3, maybe even 4 times a year or more. It's not as easy as just saying, I need a pair of Nike running shoes, finding the cheapest pair you can find and setting out on a run. Running stores may be a little more expensive than other places you can find shoes. However, when it comes to buying your first pair of shoes, or if you think you need to change to a different pair of shoes, you're paying for that knowledge, you're paying for that service. It's very worthwhile for your first pair of shoes. All running shoes are not created equal. Some are going to have more cushioning, some less. Some are going to be a little heavier, some lighter. Some are going to help you if your foot pronates, which is kind of how it's landing on the ground. Running shoes don't necessarily fit like your everyday shoes. You tend to have a little bit more room up around the toes. You don't want your heel to be slipping. Basically, you want to avoid blisters. Second, you want just the right amount of padding, but probably not too much. Eventually, your feet, your legs will all get stronger. You don't necessarily want to try to overcompensate with a squishy shoe. Something else to consider with shoes, they're probably going to feel just a tiny bit loose when you start, and you don't want to lace them super tight either, because your feet are going to swell once you start walking and running. So leave a little room for your foot to heat up and swell just a little bit. So again, you don't need to tie your laces super tight unless you're running a very short race, which again, most of you probably will be running the longer and middle distances. Get down to your local running store and find somebody knowledgeable about running. Talk to them about what your goals are as far as distances that you're planning on training and racing. They ought to be able to fit you with several different brands of shoes, types of shoes, let you jog on a treadmill while they watch. Make sure you've got the right shoe for your particular stride.